Welcome back after the holidays, everybody, and of course to you, Keith, here today at the races. And we are just now, we're at the end of 2023, wrapping things up in the last weekend of the year.
A little freshening here after the Christmas break, so enjoyed that. That was good, very relaxing. I know you went out to the Midwest, right?
The land of cheddar.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Went out for a little cheese, did you? Okay.
Absolutely. I came back with plenty of it. Let's see what kind of cheese we can get for you today. Let's
Yeah.
take a look at what we've got going on outside for the track. Looking pretty good, Keith.
It is, yeah. Track is fast. We come off a day last, Saturday it was. I thought a little bit of an inside edge slightly. We called Double Crown with a good ride, that inside-out trip to get it done as a value play in the stakes. But all in all, nothing dramatic. But if I had to say, going back to Saturday's races, but yeah, we've got beautiful weather today. Looks extended forecast looks really good in this area. And this card, talking to Dave upstairs, Dave Rodman, our track announcer, going through it, it's a fun card.
Yes.
It really is, with a lot of open races. Racing office done a great job. The horsemen, filling the entries. I think we've got some nuggets in here that we're going to unearth at some good value.
There we have it. You heard it from Keith
Okay.
as we continue on with our chat about today's card here on a Friday, starting in this claiming 16,000 for the 3-year-olds and up, which have never won two. 7 furlongs on the dirt, scratching the 1 crazy odds, the 8 twice gold, the 11 bow rough. Keith, you have the number 3 on top. This is in trust. This is now in technically breaking from that 2 post for Mikey Gorham. Gets the blinkers on, and Raul Mena also on as well.
Blinkers on, barn change, Lasix on. I think has some positional speed. And yeah, Mike Gorham's looking for a little change of luck, right? He's been in a little bit of a chilly spell, but he's a very capable horseman. Just missed with Royal Whisper on Saturday. I think he's got this opener today. He's in a good spot here within trust. This horse is dropping into the right condition, coming out against much better horses in its last couple races. Hey Chief, Sumo, Meet Me at Mondays. I think the fields have been solid. Gets a little bit of relief here. This horse is going to move up. Blinkers on angle. Has been very good over the last few years on the dirt. First time 6 for 26 with an ROI of 324. I do look for this one to be in a stalking spot, no doubt about it. Maybe strong finish. Your horse that you've got in the mix, add some speed in here coming off of that race at 6 furlongs behind Substance, who's a horse that's got a little bit of lick. But I think in trust might pull a little upset here with Raul Mena in the opener. You have to look at great days ahead. This horse has got a couple good races over this racetrack. Got some good seasoning, I thought, at Charleston. This horse doesn't necessarily need the lead. Was up battling against horses that have won 5, 6 races. This is a 2 in life. Coming back to the right condition with the apprentice rider to sit an inside-out trip. I'd like to see this one poised from just off of it as well.
I like that take on your exacta as you go 3-2-9-5 in that opener here on Friday's race card. Race number 2 starts the early pick 4 and starts this claiming 16, another claiming 16. But for the girls, going 5.5 on the dirt. For the 3-year-olds and up, which have never won 3, you have the number 5 on top. Jackson's Dixie in the barn of David Howard. Martina Rojas looking for win number 2, but shortening it up in distance today.
We're all over the map here a little bit. The first couple.
We are.
I've got the 5. You know
Kinda
where
shows
I
it kind of shows the card.
Yeah, my 3 horse in the first. You've got nowhere, so something's got to give here, Callie. Yeah, Jackson's Dixie has won 4 races, and I think is in really good form right now. Martina Rojas gets along very well with this filly. Yeah, she's turning back in distance. Was able to work out a good trip last time to beat Goldiness, a nest runner who's holding very good form. There is a slew of speed in here. I'd like to see 6 furlongs maybe for Jackson's Dixie, 5.5. She may be rolling, but just a little short. But I think she's going to make an impact late. I think Lovely Liza as well, a little bit against the was with the grain. I got, no, against the grain slightly? Not really. No real track bias there on the 3rd, but had to overcome adversity early. You see the steady at the start, made that move. The Haunted Room was just a little too good that day at a big number. That one came back to run well on allowance. So keying up against the right time is Lovely Liza. I think we'll be able to draft in a little bit around the turn. I'd like to use that term, but you'll see Toledo do that. And maybe loop and swoop at the time they hit the quarter bowl, because I think she's going to like to see that contested pace in front of her. Alas and alack. Was this one of my video spotlights?
Yes.
Yeah, at a good number here, and rightly so, 15-1 on the morning line. Was waiting for this horse at, its third start off of a break last time. Put it together. They took the blinkers back off, keyed up against some of the right horses last time out. I mean, I should say going on the go back. This race rode the best part of the racetrack, got away with some softer internals, but kicked away nicely. I thought held firm to the wire. A little confidence boost here on the step up in class for Rudy Sanchez Solomon. This horse has the capabilities to make a run from off the pace.
Confidence run, you said it, just visually on screen with what we're seeing. That's something that definitely carries into races. So giving you a bit of a value at 15 to 1.
Yeah.
Morning line, I can definitely see it for Sanchez Solomon. Was fighting with that horse on and off of my ticket as well.
Yeah, and Sweet Heidelberg, the 4, I'm going to throw in. Corrales horses have been running well. Second time Corrales. Good effort. Winky went back and off of that race and chased and ran an okay number, I think, off of that, even with fading. So I think this one, another one that's going to get that stalking trip off of a lot of speed. You got Lady Serenity. It's going to go out and meet me at the beach. Miss Stones. They all want to be forward. Even Grace and Charm and O'Shaughnessy has shown some good speed on occasion. So look for somebody from some mid-pack. That's what I'm going to shoot for in this second race.
59244. Keith there in that start of the early pick 5. Race number 3 is a maiden special weight going 3/4 of a mile for the straight 2-year-old fillies. Going, as I mentioned, 3/4 of a mile here. Keith, you have the number 3 on top. Destination. Destination to the winner's circle, hopefully for Miguel Vera and Javian Toledo.
3 straight, my top selection doesn't make your top 4.
Yeah.
This is trouble.
It's trouble for one of us.
This is a really tough race. Maiden 2-year-old fillies. You got some firsters. You got a couple of horses that have run okay. Nothing, amazing, but all right. And I think are going to do okay, gaining some experience. Blue Trillion would probably be my top one out of that group to keep on going. Let's turn this off, Cal. We don't want this bothering us anymore. But I go with Destination.
Mr. Popular.
Miguel Vera and Dark Hollow Farm. They did team up with a firster a few months ago to got it done. Top side, Liam's Map is only about 9% with the firsters. Now, this is a first foal. The dam was good. 6 or 7 in the money, 1 second out. I go to the second dam, Drain. Graded stakes place, I believe, 1 debut. There's win early here within this family. The works look really good over at Pimlico. See if this one's ready to go first time out with Toledo.
Might have slipped one underneath me there in Destination. Let's take a look also at Gate Song for Ned Allard, Forest Boyce, also a first-time starter. The rail was the only thing that deterred me on this one, but I can definitely see the appeal, Keith.
It's also interesting about Destination. I'm just picking this up. Sometimes you just overlook things.
Yes.
But look at Toledo. He goes here. He was named on a couple. Brittany's got 2 in. You would think he's second in line with one of them, right? Sheldon and Toledo. So he kind of opts to this one. Maybe a little bit of a tell for Destination. Yeah, to the rail, looking for a little bit of price. Gate Song might 4 to 1. Yeah, might go off even a little bit higher with Brittany in here, and this Vera horse that might take some money. Arrogate's 12% first time out. Shenanigans Song, really good. 5-time winner, stakes place, won over 150,000. 1 debut, and I think might have won its first 3 races. Have to Begin. We've seen that horse run big. Won the Alma North here, very fast. Look at this record with the first-time starters for this mare. 7 starters, a win, a second, and a third. You've got Forest Boyce. We've seen that combo throughout the years. Ned Allard and Forest Boyce do very well. I'll take a shot here for this one to be ready first time out.
As you mentioned, this is a bit of a wide open affair in this maiden special weight. You go with Heart for Brittany Russell, Sheldon Russell. That's at your 8 to 5 morning line. And then underneath with the 2 in Blue Trillion for Tim Keefe.
Yeah, Blue Trillion, I just called a runaway winner. CeCe Rowe was really good for Hamby Smith that day. Willing to the wire. Experience, yes, you figure this one to break okay, giving any other adversary, hopefully nobody comes up bumping around, but should get in position and bring some finish here off of those 3 races under her belt. Let's look at Hart, a January foal, working steadily, nothing super fast. Mare was good, 11 for 23, third in the Fairgrounds Oaks, did win second out. I'm seeing a little bit longer those on the turf and in the breeding. We'll see if Hart's ready to go. Shorter price with a horse that might be better a little bit longer down the road.
Sure. Okay, there we have it. 3162 for Keith Fustel in that maiden special weight in race number 3. Race number 4 starts a different ticket for Keith today. It starts as middle pick 4. Let's take a look at your structure and what you have going on. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, that's look at this. Yeah, race 4. Maybe you see it as confusing as I do. I really think this is a scramble. Scratch the 4, a big handle. That leaves me 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9. I can give you a story on a lot of these horses. Race 5, we go 3 deep with the 1, the 7, and the 8. Looking for a price in there. They're all square. 8 to 1, 5 to 1, and 6 to 1 on the morning line. Race 6 with the 2, 4, and 8. They look like the 3. I mean, Lacey with Oxide, and she's been lights out. Take a shot, slight edge there. Singling, and I had to come up with a single somewhere to make it affordable. If you want to go too deep in here, go ahead. I use the 11, Rominsky. We've got a stat for that one later. Kieran McGee Barnes, just steady as they go. There's your single. $24 ticket for this middle pick 4.
So you end up going in on a single, and in my ticket to start off the Rainbow Pick 6,
Okay.
I don't go with a single.
All
So
right.
I give you so you have the pyramid scheme.
Yeah.
I give you the bare bone structure without a single. So race number 4, 7, 8, 9, kind of similar. We see these races a little bit similarly, and then I just kind of end things. So you kind of gave a bit of your explanation for races 4 through 7, and then just giving you a little bit of a quick look at races 8 through 9. That's a nice allowance optional 55, going 5.5 on the dirt, which is what makes it, to me, what makes this race even more interesting. So I go 3 wide with the 2, 5, and 7. You and I still both go with Brother Conway in that race. And you also will have a video spotlight later in race number 9 on Marilyn Moon. And then I also go with Dangerous Mind underneath, 2 deep in our finale here on Friday, our last Friday of 2023,
Yeah.
$28.80 for the Rainbow Pick 6. And of course, Keith, that begins as I scroll back to my placing in a claiming 8,000 for the 3-year-olds and upwards, going 3/4 of a mile on the dirt, scratching the 4 big ham bone. Keith, you go with a value play here in Crown to Count Christo, and we have a nice video on that last effort back here at Laurel.
Yeah, you see the comment there. We've got a short comment. Unprepared at the break. A little head was turning just as the gates opened up. So unprepared at the break, we give that comment. And Crown Count Christo, I thought all in all, behind Wild Behavior, who just went to the front and dictated, ran pretty well. 3 to 4 wide throughout after that adversity. Left lead here, but churning on willingly to the wire. It's another situation. I know that was for open 5. Wild Behavior, when he's right, he's good enough for open 8s, starters like that. So hopefully he'll switch to us correctly today. A good effort, 2 races back, going this 6 for a long distance. He likes this distance, 4 for 15, hit the money a bunch of times. And again, a race similar to one we talked about earlier. A lot of horses that want to kind of be on or near the lead. Some sketchy form with those horses. I think this one is going to, given a good break today, Georgia Hernandez not scared to just stay inside and ride that inside. It's been pretty favorable. Let that speed come back and maybe get over the top late at a big number.
Hoping for an inside-outside trip on his value
Yes.
play here in race number 4. You also go with the number 2 Free Square for Anthony Ferrier back in. Or nope, excuse me. I thought it was back in. I thought Anthony Ferrier had this horse a long time ago, but he didn't. Martino Rojas claims off of Kieran McGee.
Yeah, a little drop here off the claim. Against the grain of the track, 3 wide, the 25th of November, you kind of wanted to be inside. They went quick early. He gets a little bit of an assist, I think, with Big Hambone being out, but there's a couple other horses that will definitely force the issue. Does Ferrier want Free Square and Rad Paisley to duel themselves into the ground? So that'll be interesting. Again, the instructors. Rad Paisley, to me, looks like he may have lost just a touch of that speed that he had. So maybe we'll see Free Square on the engine to go the road. Definitely might go through that one.
1, 2, 7, 3 for Keith Fusel there in race number 4. Did you want to cover the 7 and the 3 since you do end up going wide on this first leg of your middle pick 4?
Yeah, we can talk about the 7 real quick. A good effort last time. Open 5, was able to control it up front going a mile. This horse is fine going short. Talking about a horse needing to come off the pace, I like that. I went back to the 3-back try at Penn National. Mo Beer came back out of that race to run big in an allowance event.
Okay.
I know it's Penn, but still a good number of 75. This horse is capable with J-Rod, very solid rider who can carry him home to make a run into it. And Dixie Giant's going to be first-time main track, right? First-time dirt for Elliott Sullivan. We're seeing some of these horses come in here. going to go second off the claim. Some good numbers on the synth, and when you really kind of break it down, Giant Gizmo, I was just kind of looking at the stallion. He's got a better percentage with the dirt sprinters, much better, 5 or 6% higher than the synth runners. And there's a couple siblings on the dirt that have had some good fortune. So there you go. There's a reasoning for the 3 Dixie Giant.
1273, as mentioned for Keith Fuchsel. He goes 6 wide in that first leg of his middle pick 4. And his second leg, race number 5, starts also the late pick 5. This is a maiden claiming 30,000, going 3/4 of a mile on the dirt for the straight 2-year-old fillies. Champagne Dance, Greg Wilson, Forrest Boyce. I was very tempted to put this one on top as well. I'm glad you did. This one, we could see some fun stuff coming out of this starter.
Comment here, just pay attention when Greg Wilson claims. I mean, he was a trainer. He's been around quite a while here on this circuit and has always done good work. So I respect him going in. Now, the horse has been freshened since Timonium. We haven't seen it since then, but comes out of an okay race. Chublin has come back to run all right. Chased, kept on. Family of some winners. I think this one, again, you've got a couple horses in here that 6 might just be too far for. I think this horse can chase and kind of go by with Forrest Boyce. We saw a horse by the name of, I've got it here written down, Stardust Ziggy, right? He took, what is it, last year maybe? He took and won a couple races in a row. So certainly capable off the claim is Greg Wilson. Champagne Dance. Lisa's Palace, the 8. I'm looking for this one to make a move somewhere from mid-pack. Third time, Claudio. Maiden special weight to maiden claiming. Also going turf to dirt. The barn's picking up a little bit. His horses are run a little bit better. He's 40%, though, over the last couple of years. 8 for 20, turf to dirt with the maiden claimers. 15 of 20 in the money with a good ROI. So I like that angle here. Raul Mena gets the call to make a run from off of it. The one breaking rules, I know Robin's going to use this horse a little bit. The angle, first blinkers, second career start hasn't been great for Trombetta. But even try in debut at a little bit of a higher level. But I looked at the family, Missy Rules, 4 for 15. She was very quick. A family of some fast horses. So maybe the blinkers will wake this one up and we ascend from the inside. The other speed to worry about is on the outside, the 9, your top selection, who ran well for Kieran first off the break, Renee 6.
And there we have it, 7-8-1-9 for Keith in the 5th. We'll be right back after this commercial break for the rest of Friday's card.
Thoroughbred Racing is taking vital steps to make our sports safer. These include the use of independent veterinarians, strict anti-doping and medication controls, and a single national authority empowered to create uniform standards and enforce reforms. With each step, more data is gathered, accountability demanded, and progress made as safety takes the lead. Visit ntra.com/safety for more.
Have it now back in this jackpot super high 5 in this claiming 5,000 for the 3-year-olds and up, which have never won 4, going a mile. So this is a 1-turn mile, second wire here at Laurel Park. Scratching the 16 nepotism. I'm assuming now that we're going to be scratching the 13 and the 14 and 15 as well, since they are AEs. So just wanted to clarify that. But Keith, you go with Oxide, of course. This is a tried and true runner for Lacey Gaudette. We're going to take a look at that last effort.
Yeah, let's take a look at the last effort, and it was good. You know, I thought all in all, okay. We talked about remembering Wilbur for Rudy Sanchez, was able to kind of get out there and control things. But Oxide worked a little trip in between horses, kept on willingly. This one loves the mile distance. The 1-turn mile is good, 4-time winner, 2 times second. For a barn, still a little stat. You know, I had this written down, and Dan's going to use one tomorrow. But Lacey. Let's just say rolling. We won't give you a percentage, but somewhere above 40% over the last month or so. So, that barn's going quite well. And looking at this field, I don't think anybody's going to get terribly far away from him. I think by the time he works to the top of the stretch, he'll be in range with a steady progression. Same kind of style for Assembly Point. That's a horse I think that'll work on first off the claim. A little drop though. That concerns me. Playing the condition theme here, getting that date condition for Assembly Point. 8-2-4, looking for justice, looking for a little bit of price. 6-1. I think it works. Annette Eubanks and Cruz. This one. 7/8, they just got away from him there. I just don't think his game is a little bit better at the 1-turn mile. I think he's a chaser. I think is a grinder in here and stays around.
And just a really quick barn trend stat for Annette Eubanks: 4 for 7 third after the layoff as of lately. So just something to kind of pay attention to. You also have Virginia Fulla, Vidania McKenzie, Georgie Hernandez. Decent effort enough at this level last time out. Going back to a fast track.
Yeah, I just think has very little speed. I think maybe somewhere in there in that third or fourth position is what I was looking for Virginia Fulla.
That's how I see it. As Keith goes 8-2-4-6 in race number 6 at Jackpot Super High 5. Race number 7 is an allowance, going 3/4 of a mile on the dirt for the 3-year-olds and up. Scratching the 1, Mr. Antonelli, and the 13, Elle's Big Secret. But you and I kind of focus in on the 11. Keith, you have a nice stat coming up, or video coming up for us with Ron Minsky here in the barn of Kieran McGee.
Kieran McGee, just lights out effort here. This was Cal, it was the second off of a break, right? Off from March to November. Ran okay. Got a little work in up there at Delaware through some fast fractions, a slight fade, but no fading and going on December the 1st. Now, speed was very good this particular day, but ran some other speed into the ground. Take a hint. Also, the second place finisher had been in very good form, coming off of a 79 prior at this open A other than condition. So Rominski going to stay sharp, it looks like, for Kieran McGee, because look at the stat. Last 3 years on the dirt, this barn is 9 for 25, 36%, 20 for 25 in the money. Last out winners back in these allowance sprints for a 322 ROI. Gets a little help with a scratch from the rail of Mr. Antonelli, who I thought was going to bring some speed to the equation. He might have to deal with Bick. Bick is pretty quick. He showed it last time out, 7/8, 23-2, not demanding, but the time before that 22 and change, 44, clipping it off. I think he can shadow that one and go on again, holding good form here for the barn.
There we have it. You also, just heads or tails, you kind of mentioned Linda Albert, Yomar Ortiz. Underneath, you also have a Great Heavens and the number 8 on the outside. Really nice, another Annette Eubanks runner.
Yeah, let's talk about it, because I'm looking for a little bit of value underneath. I think Rominski with the scratch of the 1, is he going to come down further? Could be around that even money, 7-5, when it's all said and done. So let's look for something from a little bit off the pace. If he puts away the speeds, look for those horses from the back to the back. Brilliant Ice. I know it's been a while. That Eubanks, you talk about third off lip, but freshening these horses up. Keying up against the right kind is what I like. A Magic Mule, a horse that's run okay in 2 other than. So look for a patient ride from Billy Humphrey. Hopefully he can get towards the inside around the turn and bring a finish at a big number. I know we're going to see that trip out of Great Heavens. Bill woke me up, and I kind of forgot about this horse as well. But good afternoon, Oscar. If you're going to let Carlos Mancia go off at 20-1, shame on you.
I agree.
This horse is going to sneak away. Dirtied up form recently, but one you don't want to leave out of your exactas tries and supers. 11, 6, 4, 8. Assume nothing works as well. This is interesting. If Rominski falters, boy, anybody's ball game here in the 7th.
There we have it in 11, 6, 4, 8. Honorable mention of the number 3 in race number 7. Race number 8, interesting allowance optional 55, going 5.5 on the dirt for the 3-year-olds and up. Scratch in the Rail Horse Monday Morning QB. You and I both go with Brother Conway. Let's go ahead and take a look back at that last win for Kieran McGee.
This race has got the feel of a stakes, you know.
Yes.
And here's another Kieran McGee runner. So we can apply the same stat, right? We're back in an allowance race and a winner. Brother Conway has just rolled up the charts here. Again, 23rd was just outside the best part of the racetrack, riding that 2-path, and top boss at a big number here at 30-1. And he's shown some pretty good speed in the past. Well, he brought it again this day. Brother Conway was up to the challenge. He was able to sit outside of that one, relax pretty well with Karamanos. Karamanos getting along with this runner. And here's the finish. He's eager to the wire. He's kicking away. Top boss, ultra sharp, but he's well clear of the rest, including Back in the Woods, who's a horse that keys up against some of these when you go through these PPs. So holding form, he's the inner speed, I believe. Johnny Z from Albany's been super sharp. These two, I think, emerge early with Swill looking to take that trip just off of him. I'll be surprised if Swill He could get to the front if they got super aggressive, but I think he might be best suited just off of it. Comes out of a tough race in New York, facing Durante. Cowan came back to run good in the day's spring. I think Durante came back and won a grade 3 Bold Ruler, if I'm not mistaken. So 5, 2, 3, Karen's Notion. I've got to use in the mix
Got to.
one more time. I've been chasing him. He's third off the break here. Gets a little change up here with Thais Liapestina. No knock against Ortiz or anything like that. Maybe just a little change will do him some good. We've seen Thais get some of these horses, the sprinters, to relax them a little further off the pace and make a run. I think he's capable here at the 5.5 furlong distance. But this is an excellent race, race 8.
5237 for Keith Fustel with Brother Conway as his top selection, race number 9. Finale on here on a Friday for the last Friday finale for 2023 is a 1.16 dirt affair for a maiden claiming 12-5.
Yeah.
Keith, you have the number 3 in these 3, 4, and 5-year-old groups in your top selection, and I Want to Rock. 4-1 for TJ, Anthony Aguirre, and Rosario Martinez.
I guess you could say your top selection. Yeah, I was back and forth, and just kind of said, you know what, we're going to try a little bit more value. We've got 2 turns. We've got an inner post. Horse that ran really good first time on the dirt here for TJ Aguirre. I Want to Rock got in a little trouble, a little keyed up, had to steady off of heels, leaving that chute, heading to the 3/4 pole. Made 2 moves, worked off the worst part of the racetrack and just a slight fade. Inner post here, I think if this horse is keyed up again, we might see it go right to the front. Marilyn Moon was against the grain into the turn and maybe by midway or around the turn, but worked the seam in between and finished up well. We're going to see this race right now. You see it turning for home. In the 2-path in the blue is going to be I Want to Rock in those orange and brown colors, I guess we're going to call them for Dark Hollow.
Oh.
Yeah.
I Want to Rock. No, it's
no,
going to
for
be
Marilyn Moon. Yeah,
Marilyn Moon. Yes,
and just kind of makes that good run to the inside of I Want to Rock. Finishes well. Going to separate from that rival. But at the 2 turns, you know, maybe a little edge getting that inner post and some speed. But this horse just finally kicked in late and definitely could carry it again today to get the maiden broken. You got Chavez aboard at a short price. Looking for a little value, maybe the 5 Telecast. I can't believe the less. I think he's better than that.
3745 for Keith Fusel there in the last race. Let's go on to lightning round. Let's dive in to those picks a little bit deeper. Let's talk about your value play in race number 4 on the number 1. Crown Down Count Crisco for Mario Saray Jr. and Georgie Hernandez.
He's hedging back towards kind of a top number, Cal. I mean, the last 2 races good, and it ran a big race with that trouble. We showed that video. The head was turned at the break, still recovered, stayed left lead, but rallied into it against a lone speed. Things look to be contested here in race 4. Maybe not win it, but Georgie Hernandez at a price with Saray, I like this one to make a run from off the pace.
And your best bet is a little bit later in the day in race number 7 on Raminsky for Kieran McGee and Horacio Karamanos.
Kieran could have a big day back-to-back with what the A other than and then what the 3 other than with Brother Conway. Raminsky really looked sharp last time. I think they've got him to catch. If he breaks good, I think he separates around the turn. Catch me if you can from the 1/4 pole home.
As we dive into our last weekend of the 2023 season, let's take a look at the standings. Going to be a showdown, as per usual, with Toledo and Rodriguez.
Look at that. 1 win separates them, and we might as well go right to the trainer. So that's going to be a great race because I think what we're really looking at is Jamie Ness, Brittany Russell.
Yep.
Two wins separate them. Brittany's going to go for the year title as well.
Yes.
I believe Ness has 12 runners in this weekend so far entered, and Brittany 8.
Yes.
So
Brittany's leading by 2 races right now for the year.
Oh, so those should be flipped maybe.
Nope, that's just for the winter
for the year.
season.
Oh, for the winter. That's right. Ness was up for the winter. Okay, for the year she's up.
Yes.
Okay, that's going to be a good run to the finish here. Those
So
last 3 days.
There we go.
Yeah.
Keep your shop eye out for what's going on here in Maryland. It's going to make things exciting for this trainer title, and we will head on over to Dave Rodman watching all those trainer starters with some more changes and scratches.
All right. Good luck, everybody.